So here we, so here we are at part 2 for the best airline loyalty program for every kind of traveler. And I'm breaking down all these loyalty programs, unjargoning all the jargon, and helping you make an informed decision. Now, if you somehow stumbled on a part 2 and you didn't actually get a chance to watch part 1, I'm not gonna lie and say you need to watch part 1 if you want to understand anything about part 2, because truthfully you don't. But there are gonna be some references that I'll make, and I'm not gonna get into the same level of details in the certain parts that I did in part 1. So if you want to be caught up on just every aspect of this thing, you can check out part 1. I'll leave a title card for it right here. Actually, nope, it's gonna be right there. I think, hopefully I did that the right way. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's see which program is right for you. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Mike's Travels and Cents, where I go over points and travel strategies, and more importantly, how not to go broke while enjoying it all. Now, if that sounds good to you, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss future content like this. And if you found some value in this video, drop me a like to let me know. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. Now, in part 1, I went over kind of the meat and potatoes, the essentials of all these airline loyalty programs. But in part 2, we're going to be looking at some of the nuances, some of the nooks and crannies, the things that make these airline loyalty programs a bit more unique and separate them from each other, make them special, if special at all. And then from there, we're going to determine which is the best airline loyalty program for you based on a couple factors, which I'll make it really simple and lay everything out. It won't be like some super ambiguous ending, I promise. Let's get into it. Let's start with the more domestic focused airlines, and by that I mean Southwest, JetBlue, and Alaska. Looking at Southwest first, and the most notable feature in their loyalty program is actually their same day standby perk that they extend to elite members. And with this, it gives you a little bit more flexibility when it comes to bookings, and somewhat of a cushion if you manage to miss your flight without having to worry about those crazy standby fees. Next up, and we have JetBlue with its singular level Trueblue Mosaic elite status. And while I think their program does have some value, there's just nothing really special to point out about the program. Finally, of the more domestic US carriers, and we have Alaska with its Mileage Plus program. And first off, if you can manage to make it past, the MVP elite status, companions can also be upgraded to premium class and first class cabins when not flying saver level economy fares. Alaska also offers elite leave as part of its loyalty program, which for new parents lets you keep the elite status benefits you've earned for another year. This applies to not just maternal leave, but also paternity and adoption leave. Furthermore, even though the best you can get is 4 day passes through your elite status, Alaska is the only one of these 3 airlines to actually have an airport lounge, albeit not the largest footprint, but a lounge nonetheless. To wrap up these 3, and I'll also add that Southwest is the only one of these 3 to not have any international airline partners. And this essentially means that the only way you're going to fly and earn rapid reward points is by flying Southwest. Unlike Alaska and JetBlue, which have international airline partners, so you can fly other airlines and still earn, their respective points. And even better with Alaska, which is where they really shine the brightest, they have a partnership with American Airlines. So even though Alaska doesn't have the biggest, American routes, you can fly on American Airlines and still earn Alaska miles instead. And to be honest, Alaska miles are definitely the most valuable point currency out of these 3, and probably the more valuable point currency out of the rest of the US airlines. Moving on though, and it's time for the big 3 airlines. And the big 3 airlines, including Alaska, do a similar thing when it comes to lounges, and that is at one of the lower 2 elite levels, they usually open up Alliance lounge access to their elite members, but none of them outright give their own lounge access to elite members, except Delta in a way, and I'll touch on that a bit later. The next thing is the big 3 also all do a similar thing when it comes to upgrades. They have the unlimited complimentary upgrades, except American, and I kind of spoke my piece on that in part 1. But anyway, you basically get put on a wait list, and you're prioritized based on your elite level within the airline. The other track for the upgrades are the more restrictive, or not restrictive, the more limited number of upgrades you get. So it's not unlimited, but you don't have to worry about being put on a wait list. You can, basically cash in this upgrade certificate or points, as in United's case, and you can get locked into an upgrade as soon as it's, available for upgradable people or whatever. And speaking of United, let's get straight into United's Mileage Plus Premier program. The first thing I would like to know here is their implementation of their limited upgrade program. Instead of the traditional regional and international certificates being separate, United has merged these certificates into essentially a different type of point currency within their program called Plus Points. Ultimately, this gives passengers more flexibility with how they want to use their upgrades and can be very beneficial in many situations. Also, some other needed mentions for United's program are no blackout dates for award flights on United and United Express, Marriott Bonvoy Gold Elite status, and better award availability in different cabins based on elite level. Also, even though it's not necessarily a perk of their elite program, the excursionist perk with United is pretty cool as well. Moving on to Delta, and I cannot stress how invaluable it is that they allow elite miles to roll over to the next year. So this means that if you get more miles than your current level, but you don't quite get up to the next level, those miles just don't go up in smoke. You can use those as a starting point for next year to hit status that much easier next year. Also of note, as I mentioned earlier, Delta does not extend club membership to its elite members directly. However, if you can manage to make it to Diamond Medallion status, you can utilize what Delta calls choice benefits and opt to either seize a Delta Sky Club individual membership for one of 3 choice benefits, or a Delta Sky Club executive membership for 2 of 3 choice benefits. Lastly, Delta's complimentary upgrades also extend to companions, even for upgrades to Delta One. Keep in mind, these are for domestic upgrades only, and you would have to use a global upgrade certificate for an international upgrade. Moving on to American Airlines, and I gotta say, I'm really disappointed. Their greatest perk to their entire loyalty program, the thing that makes them special, is their partnership with Hyatt. This allows you to earn Hyatt points when spending money at American Airlines, except that's dependent on your status at Hyatt, since you have to at least be a discoverist to take advantage of this, which essentially makes this useless unless you happen to also be a Hyatt loyalist and frequent their hotels fairly often. Other than that, an American's program is just good enough to be written off, except they have elite miles that expire for no reason after 18 months, and they have the worst regular upgrade program, which is based on miles instead of domestic and international. Just meh. Now for what everyone's been waiting for. Which airline loyalty program is best for you? Well, if you direct your attention to the little matrix that I've created, everything will be made clear. First up, for the domestic high-frequency solo traveler, I say the best program is Alaska's Mileage Plan Loyalty Program. This will come with 4 lounge day passes, 2 free check bags, companion upgrades, the ability to use American Airlines to still earn miles, and elite status on routes Alaska doesn't even operate, and you'll be earning very valuable Alaska miles. However, if you're moving around with a companion, I say Delta Sky Miles is more ideal, considering you get 3 free check bags for you and your companion, discounted lounge access, and upgrades can be extended to your travel companion, which at this elite level puts you at a decent priority to actually be able to pull it off. Beyond that, I think Alaska just kills it for domestic travelers with a slight yield to JetBlue, and in my opinion, this is just due to JetBlue having that Mint class, which I think is a better product than Alaska's, which is a more traditional first class product. Now, if you happen to be a high frequency long haul or international flyer, I have to say United takes the win here, especially if you're someone who will fly business class every now and then, and this will at least put you at Premier Platinum. United has the advantage of a superior upgrade program with plus points, the superior award program with no blackout dates, and better award availability, and Marriott Gold status. However, as a traveler with a companion, Delta takes the win here, as this frequency will at least put you at Platinum Medallion, but if your frequency is high enough for Diamond Medallion, you can get lounge access, which would be a nice perk for you and your companion. Also, there's a superior upgrades offered by Delta to companion travelers as opposed to United and American. Check bags for companions, which again is a feature missing from American Airlines. And from here on out, for long-haul flyers, Delta remains to be the best choice, with the caveat that if you are someone who flies premium cabins long-haul solo, United would be the best choice, since unfortunately, the structure of their program heavily caters to either super aggressive flyers or the affluent who fly premium cabins and therefore spend more per segment. And there you have it, the best airline loyalty programs for every kind of traveler. And I definitely learned a lot through doing the research for this video, and some little nuances and stuff I found out that I had no idea about when it came to these airlines. And two things I really just want to say is, first, I was just really disappointed with American's loyalty program. It just seems like somebody's asleep at the wheel over there. Like, they're just okay hitting the bare minimum for being one of the big three airlines in this country. And that's not how you survive very long. And hopefully with everything going on in the world, hopefully they come back with some vigor or some inspiration or something, because they need to overhaul that program. And also the other part is for United. As I alluded to earlier, with those high spend minimums that they put at every elite level, it's very clear that they don't care so much just about loyalty. They want affluent, loyal customers, because even if you're just flying economy, you would have to fly so many segments to hit the same elite level that you would be able to hit that tier on Delta or even American if you still cared about the program. So I'd really like to see some changes there as well. Like, if it's a loyalty program, reward loyalty. Don't, kind of cater to a certain class of people. I think that's a little distasteful. That's just my opinion though. But that's where I'm gonna wrap up this video. So as always, if you found some value in this video, go ahead, drop me a like. And if you want to be sure to catch more content just like this, you should definitely subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I do upload. But remember, the one thing more valuable than your points is your money, and the only thing more valuable than your money is your time. But until next time, peace.